So one of the popular things that I hear amongst the Hunter x Hunter fandom is the arguments of whether or not Hunter x Hunter should have ended after Gon met his father, Jin. Basically the ending of the 2011 Hunter x Hunter anime that wrapped up in 2014. People say that that should have been the ending. It shouldn't have carried on. And I kind of wanted to dive a little bit into it and give my 2 cents on whether or not I feel as though Hunter x Hunter should have ended at that point. Now, to be honest with you, I felt as though if we're just going off of the initial goal, because when we started the series, one of the main goals, or the ultimate prerogative at the very least for Gon, was that he wanted to find Jin. As the story progressed a little bit though, things changed and we started to get a bigger perspective and insight into why Gon wants to meet Jin. It wasn't that, you know, he misses his father or he really wants a father in his life. It was more like a hunting game, you know, Hunter x Hunter. He was just wanting the challenge of finding his father, but it kind of seems as though he was content with not really having him in his life, because at the end of the day, he grew up with his aunt Mito, and it was just like, you know, it is what it is. That's mom to me. That's my family or whatever. I just want the challenge of being able to find him and understand why it was that he would leave me for this dream of being a hunter. So, you know, it definitely changed a little bit. So people that argue and say, no, the original goal was to find Jin, it should have ended. Yes, that was the original goal, but things kind of changed a little bit. You take Naruto into account, for example. Now, obviously, it's a little bit different because he wanted to be Hokage from start to finish. But amongst the way, one of the big goals that kind of overshadowed Hokage for a while was him wanting to rescue Sasuke. And you got a little bit more insight into that. So putting that as just the main reason why it should have ended, I could see in a way, like, yeah, you know, that was the goal and we reached it or whatever. But you got to think, at the point that we got to there was still some unresolved things. Kurapika's whole thing with his clan avenging them and spiders and wanting to see that fight with Chrollo and Hisoka. There were a lot of things that were left unsaid or unaddressed at that particular point. I think the solution, which would have been incredible and would have given a lot of people closure in a way, where if they wanted to end the series and feel totally comfortable, is if they would have just rebranded Hunter x Hunter following the end of the anime, so to speak, or the end of that part of the manga, and maybe call it a sequel manga or a sequel series. Because even when you get to the chapters after the anime, which, don't worry, I'm not really going into spoilers or anything like that, but it's not really even focusing in on the things that it focused in on. It's not really even the same type of series to a certain degree that it was before. The characters that we're focusing on, things that we're addressing, is a little bit different than what Hunter x Hunter was for quite some time. And to be honest with you, I think that it all could have been addressed if, again, they would have just ended the series right there, and the very next chapter or whatever following would have just been like Hunter x Hunter 2, or, you know, Hunter x Hunter Shippuden, Hunter x Hunter Z, whatever you want to call it. I think that that would have solved everything. Now, if they ever do decide to do a continuation of the anime, I definitely think that that would be the perfect move, because Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 anime, for example, as it stands right now, it does feel in a way complete. Like you could just watch that and not feel like you want more. With the manga, considering the fact that you know it continues after those points, you're gonna want to see more, you're gonna want to read more, you're gonna want to continue following it. So that's kind of my stance on that. I do think that there was still many things left unsaid, and it was fine to continue on. It was also a good point to stop, but there was still a lot of things like, man, well, what about that? What about that? And I never liked being left with so many unanswered questions. I think it all could have been resolved again with just making the following stuff just considered a sequel or a spin-off or whatever you want to call it. Kind of curious how you guys feel about this, though. This has been a discussion for many years now, ever since that whole stuff happened. I want to say it was like probably 6 years now, 5 years now, when, you know, Togashi came through and finally wrapped up the Chimera Ant and all of that stuff with Gon meeting Jin. Do you think that that should have been the point where the story completely stopped, on top of the fact that we already know Yoshihiro Togashi has many health issues, so him continuing, the likelihood increases that we'll never get a fully completed Hunter x Hunter series, because the man, he's really poor in health. And your overall thoughts of this one? This has been, again, in the fandom for quite some time. Should Hunter x Hunter have ended after Gon met Jin? But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, stalk my Facebook, follow me on Twitch, and hit the bell to get all notifications from me to watch all my videos. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Make a major move, laugh and let the haters lose. We don't give a fuck, virginity intact, cream stack. Paper rules, if you heard it, best believe that. But now it's whatever, one day I'll be a